The day we were supposed to get married at city clerk's office, he was absent. He was with another woman at the hospital for a prenatal checkup. In that moment, I realized I didn't love him anymore. Who I married didn't matter. So, I dragged my arch-rival, who happened to be passing by city clerk's office, and we got married. When we met again, Alexander Blackwood, who was always so composed, lost control. Why did you marry someone else? The person standing beside me possessively placed his hand on my slightly rounded stomach, declaring his claim. Sorry, but opportunity is for those who are ready. Today was the day Alexander Blackwood and I were supposed to get married. I arrived at city clerk's office early to get in line and take a number. I don't know how long I waited. What finally came was a video sent by an unknown friend, showing Alexander Blackwood accompanying his first love to a prenatal checkup. In the video, the woman wore a light yellow dress, her belly slightly rounded. She looked at the tall, distinguished man beside her, smiling blissfully. The man looked at her with eyes full of doting tenderness. Anyone who saw them would think they were a happy, loving family. The person taking the video was close to them and recorded their voices too. The woman said in a soft, sweet voice, "Julian, you should go to city clerk's office soon. Don't keep Claire waiting too long." The man, who moments before had a gentle expression, seemed to hear a word that annoyed him. His face instantly darkened. Not yet. I'll go after you finish your checkup. The heart I had been holding on to finally died in that moment. That one phrase, "not yet," completely froze my heart. 3 hours had already passed since our scheduled time. I had thought he was just delayed by some important company matter. Turns out, he didn't want to come at all. I had loved Alexander Blackwood for a full 7 years. He was the person who defined my entire youth. When I first met him, he was the aloof senior who helped me carry my luggage. The second time we met, he was the steady, gentle student representative. Standing on stage, a ray of sunlight happened to fall on his white shirt, making him seem to glow. That one glance shone straight into my heart. The third time we met was in the middle of winter. Someone had splashed water on my school jacket, and I happened to run into the school administration checking class appearance. But he lent me his school jacket, saving me from being chewed out by the teacher. That's how simple a teenage girl's crush can be. After quietly liking him for 2 years, I found out he already had a girlfriend. Unrequited love is destined for regret. Before I could even confess, I was told there was no chance. But you really can like someone you fall for at first sight for a very long time. Perhaps fate was kind, and it gave me another opportunity. Alexander Blackwood took his girlfriend to meet his family, but the elders had already arranged a marriage for him, so the whole family opposed his relationship. And the woman he was arranged to marry was me. I knew he didn't like me, but I thought feelings could be cultivated. So I did everything he wanted, only to be met with cold words from him. It seemed he blamed me for his first love's departure. But I heard that when faced with a choice between Alexander Blackwood and $1 million, his first love chose the latter. I crouched in a corner by the city clerk's office entrance, thinking back on the 7 years I'd known him. What a joke I'd been. Suddenly, I realized the grief wasn't as devastating as I had imagined. More than sorrow, I felt a sense of relief. Suddenly, a pair of black leather shoes stopped in front of me. "Hey, crybaby, tearing up again?" I didn't need to look up to know who it was. There was only one person who would say something so obnoxious to me. I wiped away my tears and looked up at William Carter. Annoyed, I said, "What are you doing here? If you're here to laugh at me, you can leave." William Carter bent down, his eyes narrowed, his gaze deep and playful. After a moment, he smiled broadly. "Just passing by." With that, he held out a hand to me, the casual indifference in his eyes gone. This was different from the way I usually saw him. For the first time, I saw seriousness on his face. "Crybaby, an arranged marriage is an arranged marriage. The Davis family is just as good as the Sterling family, and I'm no worse than Alexander Blackwood. Marrying me is a perfectly good choice." Alexander Blackwood's family made their fortune over 3 generations, making him new money. William Carter, on the other hand, comes from an old, established family with roots in both business and politics. The Davis family wields significant influence in both spheres. William Carter is on a different social stratum than Alexander Blackwood, and, frankly, different from mine too. Although we grew up together and our families were close, when it came to arranged marriages, the Miller family elders insisted on a match in social standing, so they wouldn't even consider the Davis family. I, of course, wasn't bothered by such complexities. I pulled the pocket square from his chest pocket and wiped my snot and tears. Pretending indifference, I said, "Let's go. An arranged marriage is an arranged marriage, no matter who it's with." After wiping, I placed my hand in his. In an instant, a force pulled me up from the ground. My legs were numb, and I stumbled, falling right into his arms. It was surprisingly warm. Let's go. To get married at city clerk's office, you need the necessary documents for the marriage license and an ID card. Did you bring them all? A few laughs escaped his chest, tinged with triumph. They happened to be in the car. After 20 years of rivalry with my arch rival, our names were on the same legal document. Holding the marriage certificate, I felt a bit lost. We just looked at each other, and there was only awkwardness. Thinking about sharing a bed in the future, and then, thinking something you can't say out loud? William Carter held out a beautiful hand and snapped his fingers in front of me. What? No, I wasn't. Caught off guard, I panicked, hitting him in the arm and blurting out, "Why are you dressed so formally today? Like you're getting married." No wonder William Carter looked strange to me just now. I was used to seeing him in casual clothes, looking relaxed. Now, dressed to the nines in his custom-tailored suit, almost unrecognizably put together, I wasn't quite used to it. He pursed his lips for a moment, then smiled again, a hint of indulgence in his eyes. "Yeah, just got married. My wife is standing right here to my left." I followed his gaze to the left. No one was there. Then it hit me, he was talking about me. All I wanted to do now was escape. Right, okay. Well, I won't keep you. I'll be going now. Before I could even start, he grabbed the back of my collar. "Where do you think you're going?" "Home." "Stop grabbing me. I am going home. To our home." William Carter forcibly took me to his car. He took me to a villa I'd never been to before. Built into the hillside, it blended Chinese architectural aesthetics with Western details, grand yet refined. "Davis, you're not trying to kidnap and sell me, are you?" William Carter raised an eyebrow and chuckled softly. "Do I look like I need the money?" I rolled my eyes at him. "Don't show off in front of me. Let's go. Inside." He was concise, not giving me time to talk, just walking straight ahead. This impatient look? I'd only ever seen it when he wanted to show off to me. Pushing the door open, everywhere I looked, there were wedding decorations. From the entrance all way up the stairs, a red carpet was laid out. He'd somehow managed to make a perfectly grand villa look incredibly tacky. My mouth twitched. I didn't understand it, but I respected it. "Definitely young Mr. Davis's taste," I muttered. "So festive. Like it?" His tone was full of pride. Seeing I didn't respond, he turned and picked up the deed from a table nearby, handing it to me. "I originally planned to give you this villa as a wedding gift when you got married. Now, consider it my settlement gift." After saying that, he added very softly, "Luckily." I didn't understand why he said that, but a strange, subtle feeling hung in the air. William Carter stared intently at me, as if waiting for my reaction. His gaze made me feel unnerved. The only thing I could think of to say was, "Giving me such a big house, you're actually pretty nice." William Carter didn't get the response he wanted and looked very upset. "Dummy, I have company matters to attend to. I'm leaving now." He tossed that phrase out and strode towards the door, then realized his attitude was poor. He sighed at the doorway, then turned back and pinched my cheek, his voice softening. "Don't you dare run off. I'll deal with you when I get back tonight." Only a fool wouldn't run. As soon as he left, I immediately bought a plane ticket to go abroad. But I underestimated how well William Carter knew me. He knows me inside and out. I was still at the airport when he caught me. "Did you put a tracking device on me?" He hauled me away like a lamb to the slaughter. William Carter said displeasedly, "Do I look like a tracking device?" I said certainly, yes. "Emma Thompson, you can run but you can't hide forever. I'm never divorcing you, unless I'm dead. Either come back with me now, or I'll go abroad with you. We'll call it a honeymoon." William Carter lost his patience with me. He looked furious, yet clearly struggling to control himself. I was pretty annoyed too. The guy who's been my friend for so many years actually likes me. This time I decided not to run. Like he said, you can run but you can't hide forever. After all, we were legally married now. If we didn't divorce, we'd be tied together for life. I stopped resisting. "Let's go back." "Really? Really?" On the way back, every second felt like a year. I swear, this was the most awkward time I'd ever spent with William Carter. We were both silent. Until a phone call broke the silence. It was Alexander Blackwood. His voice was cold, and his first words were an order. "Accompany me to the dinner party tonight." I couldn't help but let out a cold laugh. How funny. Turns out he still remembers me. "Mr. Sterling, aren't you forgetting something?" There was a silence on the other end, then his tone turned extremely impatient. Fine, I'll come now. It seemed he finally remembered about city clerk's office. 6 hours had passed since our scheduled time, but there wasn't a trace of apology in his attitude. He felt he was bestowing an opportunity upon me by being with me, certain I wouldn't make a fuss. But who would wait in the same spot forever? He was no longer the boy who was favored even by the sun, the one I used to love. No need. I've already gotten married. That's not funny. How could you get married by yourself? William Carter, who was driving, finally couldn't take it anymore and snatched my phone with one hand. They say rivals are always hostile. Even through the phone, I could feel William Carter's urge to punch someone. Don't trouble yourself, Mr. Sterling. Alexander Blackwood's voice was full of disbelief. Who is this? William Carter, Emma Thompson's husband. William Carter hung up the phone and tossed it onto the back seat. Are you crazy? That's my phone. He didn't respond to what I said, was silent for a moment before speaking again. Emma Thompson, tonight, who are you choosing? Him or me? You. Before the dinner party, William Carter hired a top-tier makeup artist team to do my hair and makeup. I chose a backless purple evening gown that highlighted my fair skin and perfectly showed off my figure. People around me couldn't help but exclaim, Ms. Miller, that gown looks absolutely custom-made for you, you look stunning. Only William Carter, who had been sitting silently on the sofa, had dark, unreadable eyes and was staring intently at the expanse of my bare back. After a while, he had everyone leave, leaving only him and me. What are you doing? My heart skipped a beat. He'd declared his feelings for me today and we just got married, he wasn't going to. He smirked and advanced on me, backing me against the cold mirror. Emma Thompson, what are you thinking? William Carter knew me too well. He let out an unconcealed chuckle, then turned serious in a second. His hands reached for my back. The unexpected warmth made me shiver. As if he'd found something amusing, his hand kept tracing patterns on my back. Cold? I'm naturally sensitive, and my body was already going weak. But I was unwilling to show weakness or give in to him. Hell no. I tried to push him away with my hands. But there was a significant strength difference. My hands landed on his abs. On impulse, I even gave them a little squeeze. Nice feel. The man in front of me seemed surprised I dared to touch him. He let out a low groan and pulled me into a hug. He rested his head lightly on my shoulder, saying in a slightly husky voice, if you don't mind, we could just do it here. I knew exactly what he was talking about. My hands immediately behaved themselves. Good girl. I know you chose me to make Alexander Blackwood jealous. I don't mind being your tool this one time, but it's the last time. I froze, not understanding why he would think at. Thinking of everything that happened today, it was nothing like the William Carter I knew before. Mr. Davis, decisive and ruthless in business, seemed so weak today. I suddenly got a mischievous idea. I wanted to tease him. That might not be true, you know. Maybe in the future. Before I could finish, he covered my mouth with his. It felt both retaliatory and like it had been held back for a long time. He kissed me until I was dizzy and nearly out of breath. Only then did William Carter let me go. What? Nobody ever taught you, he said, a hint of triumph in his voice. William Carter, are you crazy? He chuckled sheepishly. I'll be even crazier tonight. I'll definitely show honey a good time. You're a pervert. I want a divorce. Wife, I've already had my assistant lock the divorce papers in a bank vault. You can forget about divorce for the rest of your life. Suddenly, I realized I'd been played. That evening, walking in with William Carter, I immediately drew everyone's attention in the ballroom. Someone whispered, didn't the eldest daughter of the Miller family marry the eldest son of the Sterling family? I heard Alexander Blackwood was in love with someone else, and the Miller family forced the marriage. So how did she latch onto the Davis family now? Whispers rose and fell. I instinctively shrank back, clutching William Carter's arm, but he quickly pressed my hand down. Emma Thompson, what are you scared of? We're legally married. Mr. Davis, you've arrived. Someone came over, glass in hand, full of flattery and fawning. Then he called someone else over. Mr. Davis is here, the dinner party can begin. I instantly understood. Everyone here is a sharp operator, eager to curry favor with the Davis family. They could have just told the planner beforehand to start when William Carter arrived, but he specifically said it to William Carter. No wonder William Carter offed and told me he didn't like dinner parties. They were all too fake. The man tried to say something else, but William Carter cut him off. My wife is hungry, I'll take her over there first. I looked at him with a face full of questions. How dare he use me as a shield? but I didn't want to make him lose face. Besides, that one sentence made my current status clear, silencing the gossip. My husband just gets me, I said, pretending to be shy and lightly punching his chest. To outsiders, it looked like playful affection. As soon as we reached the catering area, the host pulled William Carter away. I'd been to many dinner parties with friends, but very few business social events. The Miller family company is currently managed entirely by my father. He doesn't seem keen on me managing the company, so he rarely brought me along. Among the guests tonight, I only recognized a few faces, and I didn't know them well enough to chat. So I got bored, grabbed a small plate, and sat on a sofa in a dimly lit area, eating while waiting for William Carter. A little over 15 minutes later, I finished off the last pastry on my small plate. Someone suddenly patted my shoulder. William Carter said he'd come find me after I finished my pastry. Looks like he keeps his word. I immediately stood up and turned around. The moment I saw who it was, the smile on my face vanished. It was Alexander Blackwood who patted me. My voice was as cold as my expression. What do you want? You were lying to me, weren't you? His tone was flat, as if he was certain I was lying. Lying about what? That's ridiculous. I turned to leave, but he grabbed both my hands. His voice wavered. Getting married at city clerk's office with him, you were lying about that, weren't you? Before I could answer, I heard a voice that reassured me from not far away. Alexander Blackwood, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. William Carter glared displeasedly at Alexander Blackwood, holding my hands, and slapped Alexander Blackwood's hands away. How to describe it? It was a release of anger, yet slightly childish. Emma Thompson is my wife now. Please show her some respect. I didn't know what trick William Carter was playing now, but a warm hand was placed on my slightly rounded stomach, the one rounded from eating too much. Opportunity is for those who are ready, Alexander Blackwood. I won't give you a chance to steal her from me. Alexander Blackwood's expression was full of disbelief. I knew he had misunderstood. It was as if he was asking why, after I had always loved him, I was suddenly pregnant with William Carter's child. Mr. Sterling, we're trying to conceive. An idea sparked in my mind. Let's make this scene more interesting. Ignoring Alexander Blackwood's furious expression, I went limp and fell into William Carter's arms, saying sweetly, with how capable my husband is, I'm sure it'll happen soon. I completely ignored William Carter's predatory gaze. He looked like he wanted to immediately, right there, solidify our marital status. Happy now? Ecstatic. I remember Alexander Blackwood's look, like he wanted to devour me, as William Carter put his arm around me and led me away. For years, everything revolved around him. Making him look bad like that felt incredibly satisfying, and I wanted to do it again. I felt much better inside. Then I suddenly realized that feeling of love for Alexander Blackwood was just habit. Now, that feeling was completely gone. Can you make me happy now? His slightly husky voice pulled me back to reality. Help. I got so carried away with my own happiness, I forgot about the other person. William Carter looked at my flustered expression and lunged at me. I panicked and pushed him away. What are you doing? Helping you buckle up. What did you think I was doing? Haha, nothing, nothing. William Carter was already settled into his seat, his long, pale fingers tapping in irregular rhythm on the steering wheel. Where to now? To my place, of course. We're married now. Our home is your home too. Back to the Miller residence. I don't have anything at your place. Right. Oh great, William Carter was upset again. From the side, I could even see him pout slightly. So, are we going back to our place after all? When we got home, William Carter acted stubborn and wouldn't open the car door. William Carter, you've changed. I haven't changed. You just didn't know me before. I paused. Was that true? From the moment I met Alexander Blackwood, my heart was entirely focused on him. I never paid attention to anyone else. Most of my time with William Carter was just arguing and bickering. I guess I really didn't know William Carter, just like I didn't know when he fell for me. Pick me up tomorrow. Since we were married and I'd decided to let go of Alexander Blackwood, why not try starting a new life? Besides, I'd only realized today that I was my true self when I was with William Carter. Okay. William Carter, who had been sulking, finally smiled, his voice instantly lighter. Kneel. As soon as I entered the house, a ceramic plate was suddenly thrown, hitting my leg joint. My leg gave way, and I fell onto the shards. Blood instantly stained the floor. Then came my dad's furious voice. Not only did you fail to marry Alexander Blackwood at city clerk's office, but you went and married some unknown man. Where would that leave the Miller family's reputation? Yes, the Miller family only cared about appearances, not my feelings. It had always been like this, ever since I was a child. Forced me to study. If I didn't get first place, I wasn't allowed to eat. Forced me to practice talents. Every time there was a family party, I had to perform on stage to entertain everyone. Forced me to get married. Edition. I didn't have to love the person, but they had to be powerful. Ha ha ha, yeah, I married some random guy. What about it? The dam broke in an instant. The string that kept me obedient finally snapped. Does the Miller family see me as an independent person? You've controlled me for over 20 years, and you want to control me my whole life? I'm not an objectification for you to trade for value, I'm a person. I was practically screaming, as if no one would listen if I didn't scream. But screaming was useless. Dad's hand came down hard across my face. And Mom stood beside Dad, watching me with cold eyes. Divorce him immediately, and you'll still be my daughter. I gritted my teeth against the pain and stood up. I won't. Dad said to me viciously, Henry Thompson from the King family has already agreed to marry you. I will make you get a divorce. Guards, lock her in her room. I remembered Henry Thompson. I'd heard about his reputation. His last wife couldn't stand the domestic violence and it took 2 years to get a divorce. And that man is nearly 50 now. As expected, he hadn't given up on the idea of marrying me into a powerful family to gain benefits for himself. I was utterly despairing. I shook off the hands trying to help me up and limped towards my room upstairs. Back in my room, I sat helplessly on the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. How foolish I had been. I used to think my parents were just a little strict with me, but now it seemed their affection for me had been objectification since I was born. The pain from the wound on my leg was nothing compared to the pain they had carved into my heart. I never thought the only person I could turn to in the end would be William Carter. William Carter, are you busy? I don't have a home anymore. Can you come get me? I tried to keep my voice steady, but as I spoke, the feeling of injustice overwhelmed me. On the other end, William Carter's heart clenched when he heard me crying. But to soothe me, his voice was gentle and urgent. Don't cry, okay? I'm coming to get you right now. I'll bring you home. Okay. I'll wait for you to bring me home. Hearing me agree, William Carter must have wished he could teleport to the Miller residence. Thinking about how I'd been wronged in such a short time, he regretted not forcing me to leave earlier. I didn't have anything to treat the wound, so I just wiped it simply with a tissue. The day's exhaustion, both physical and mental, was too much. I couldn't stay awake and fell asleep right there on the floor. I don't know how much time passed. I heard the sound of the door being broken down, then William Carter's voice, and other noises. Emma Thompson, wake up. I'm taking you to the hospital now. I murmured drowsily, so noisy, and drifted back to sleep. When I woke up again, I was in a hospital bed. I tried to lift my hand but found someone holding it. I followed my gaze and saw William Carter. My movement woke him up anyway. You're awake. Does your leg still hurt? Are you hungry? He had dark circles under his eyes, and his voice was also slightly tired. Looks like he stayed up all night with me. I felt a little touched, and said with a slight whine, it hurts, but I'm really hungry. He smiled slightly. I know you. I've already got it ready. He opened the thermos on the table. Inside was some chicken soup. From that place in Sunnybrook. It was my favorite when I was in school. I drank it almost every day. But after graduation, I stopped going. It was too far, and I didn't have the time, and there was no one who would go for me. But now there was. My heart ached slightly. Thank you. He paused while feeding me the chicken soup, but quickly continued. I need to remind you of something again. We're married. I know. So there's no need to say thank you. You can rely on me more. I know. It'll take some time for you to adapt to this change in our relationship, but that's okay. I'll be ready, whenever you are. Could you stop being so sappy? My nose stung. If he said any more, I'd actually start crying. But the peaceful atmosphere was quickly broken. My dear daughter, how are you feeling? It was my mom, who had watched coldly yesterday, and my dad, who caused my leg injury. My face instantly turned cold. Thanks to you, I'm staying at the hospital. You can't talk like that. Your father was just worried you'd foolishly marry some unknown man yesterday. It was all for your own good. I wasn't going to put up with them. Maybe it was because I felt brave with William Carter here. Yes, for my own good. And then you wanted me to get a divorce and marry that nearly 50-year-old domestic abuser from the King family? All for my own good. Everyone present paled when they heard what I said. William Carter's gentle expression from earlier vanished. Dad and Mom looked embarrassed and a little scared. William Carter raised an eyebrow and smiled coldly, his tone freezing to ice. So Mr. and Mrs. Johnson completely disregarded my wife's feelings, forcing her to divorce me and then marry someone else? No, no, Mr. Davis, we didn't want her to divorce you. Mom quickly denied it, trying to explain further, but William Carter cut her off. The settlement will be delivered to the Miller family in full. Emma Thompson is my wife now. If she is harmed again while she is with you, I will make sure you pay double. Don't upset my wife from now on, because if she's unhappy, you'll be unhappy. Now, my wife needs to rest. Please leave. This is what it feels like to have someone backing you up. I quietly watched William Carter. A different feeling stirred inside me. Why are you staring at me? Am I that handsome? Okay, that feeling is gone now. He never acts serious. You can go now. Seriously? USI. Ing me and then discarding me? Who was it crying to me yesterday saying they wanted to go back to our home? I'm your husband now, don't think you can shake me off. William Carter, can you tell me when you fell for me? My smile faded, and I spoke to him seriously. He got serious too, adjusted the chair beside the bed, and sat down, as if he had a lot to say. It started in elementary school, became certain in middle school, grew strong in high school, and now here we are, finally together. Anyway, I've liked you for a long, long time, so long I can't even remember when it started. I tried to speak, but he cut me off. Some people are just clueless, only seeing one person. I just don't get why you never looked back at me. Every time you were rejected, I was right behind you, but you never turned around. I thought back. He seemed right. Every time I was in a difficult situation, William Carter would show up. Like the first time I got my period in middle school. I didn't know what a period was then because my mother had never taught me. I also didn't know what to do. The nurse's office had a male nurse, and I was too embarrassed to go. William Carter was the first one to notice something was wrong. He saw the stain on my pants. Even though he was a germaphobe, he tied his school jacket around my waist for me. He helped clean the stained bench and even gave me a sanitary pad. He comforted me like someone with a lot of experience, even though he was the same age as me. Every girl goes through this. Just follow the instructions on the package. How did you know? I asked the store owner. Also in high school, I fell for Alexander Blackwood. Every time Alexander Blackwood's admirers bullied me, William Carter would show up and chase them away. In the end, I was ranked #1 on the list of people you shouldn't mess with at school, and William Carter was #2, even though he was the one doing all the fighting. Later, I heard people say, if you mess with William Carter, he might not even bother with you. But if you mess with Emma Thompson, William Carter will definitely come find you and punch you. Thinking about the past, I laughed out loud. At the time, my mind was only on Alexander Blackwood. I didn't realize William Carter's feelings were so obvious. William Carter frowned and asked, "What are you laughing at?" "I think you were funny back then, and I was funny too. Why did I fall for Alexander Blackwood? You did so much for me, and I didn't like you. But Alexander Blackwood just lent me a school jacket in winter, and I fell for him. I must have been crazy." William Carter got agitated, letting out a long sigh that left me confused. "What do you mean his? It was mine. That time, the school administration called me to be the student representative, and I saw your clothes were wet. He was going to your class anyway, so I had him take it to you." My mind went blank for a second. So even that last bit of a good memory wasn't from Alexander Blackwood. "I'm sorry, William Carter. I'm so sorry." He gently pulled me into his arms, letting my tears soak his shirt. "What are you sorry for? The process doesn't matter, the result does. You're my wife now. All that old stuff is gone. Alexander Blackwood is gone." I laughed through my tears. "Did you get rid of him?" Seeing me laugh, he laughed too. "I'll go assassinate him tonight. How dare he steal my credit and fame?" A wave of warmth spread through my heart. "Can we start fresh, from now? Your wish is my command, sweetheart." After leaving the hospital, William Carter and I went back to our own home. I nestled in his arms while he peeled grapes for me. "William Carter, what do you think I should do now?" He thought for a moment, then had an answer. "Design. It's been your dream since you were a child. You shouldn't give it up." I let out a small L sound, amazed at our connection, or maybe just happy that he knew me so well. But I still had a concern. "I thought so too, but I haven't sketched in a long time. I'm out of practice." He spoke softly, like he was coaxing a child. "We can always learn again. I think you've already made up your mind." That's right, I had made up my mind. But since we were married, I still wanted to discuss it with him. "Smart as you are, I've already applied to a design university in New York. I received the acceptance letter today. It's a 2-year program. I know we just got married. But before I could finish, William Carter gently placed a finger on my lips, stopping me from saying anything more. Marriage shouldn't be a cage for your life. You are still you, and you are always free. I'm just happy that you're willing to discuss it with me. I will respect all your choices. I've read a lot of novels. When the first love goes abroad, the male lead immediately finds a replacement. William Carter immediately looked wronged and said, "Honey, I'll give you all my money. Just leave me enough for a plane ticket to visit." "I'm just teasing. But if I find out you're unfaithful, I'll take all your money and make sure you never see me again. I'm loyal only to you." I wanted to say something else, but William Carter covered my lips with his. Before I completely lost consciousness, the last thing I heard him say was that the night was long, and he would prove his loyalty to me with his body. After going to New York, I realized my worry about not seeing William Carter often was unnecessary. This guy treated going abroad like just going to another state. "William Carter, you might as well just move in." "Honey, that's a great idea." I sighed. There was nothing I could do. He's so good at giving emotional support, I couldn't even get mad. So I had to reason with him. "You're busy with the office and dealing with jet lag. It's ti. Ring." His mouth immediately formed a thin line. He looked incredibly sad. "But it's more tiring not seeing you. What can you do with a clingy husband? You spoil him, of course." Time flew by. My 2 years of study ended. I had become an internationally recognized jewelry designer. Through my success, people started calling me Ms. Miller instead of Mrs. Davis. Actually, I didn't dislike the title Mrs. Davis, but I wasn't just someone's appendage. I preferred people to use my last name when they addressed me. Thankfully, William Carter understood me completely. Whenever outsiders called me Mrs. Davis, he would explain. "She is my wife, but she is also Emma Thompson. So you can call her Ms. Miller." So, now everyone knew Ms. Miller had a husband who was head over heels in love. Many years later, I brought up the day we got married to William Carter. "How was it such a coincidence that you just happened to have the necessary documents for the marriage license and your ID card, and were wearing a suit, and were passing by city clerk's office?" William Carter put his arm around me, a flicker of cunning in his eyes. "Fate, I guess. I just happened to have them." "Then why did some unknown friend happen to run into Alexander Blackwood at the hospital, take that video, and send it to me? That means fate sent you a benefactor. Alexander Blackwood wasn't worthy of marrying you." I nodded emphatically. "You're right. Aren't you my benefactor?" We smiled at each other. Neither of us spoke the plain truth. All the coincidences that day were related to William Carter. I wasn't stupid, of course I knew he was the one who sent me the video. There's no such thing as coincidence. People who love you plan everything carefully for you. Epilogue: sadness passes, love arrives, and happiness is found. Sooner or later, someone will bring you flowers, cross mountains, and cease to love you.